Hi everyone. Today we will see the question paper Cambridge IGCSE Physics Paper 2 Multiple Choice Extended May-June 2023 Variant 3. First question, the speed time graph shows the motion of an object. How far does the object travel at constant speed? So in this graph we can see from time 5 seconds to 15 seconds the object is traveling in a constant speed. So area under this will give the distance traveled. This is a rectangle, so we can write it as breadth into height. Here the breadth is this much, that is 15 minus 5, 10. And speed, that is the height, that is 5. That is 50 meter. So here the right answer is B, 50 meter. Next, which statement about a falling object accelerating close to Earth's surface is correct? So here they are dealing with the weight. So weight remains constant. Weight is mg, that is it is on Earth. So gravity is constant. Then mass, as long as the mass remains constant, the weight will be a constant value. So in C and D, C object, weight of the object is constant. This is right. However, the force of air resistance acting on the object increases. The object speed and interaction with air molecules increases, leading to a greater air resistance. As the body is falling freely, the air resistance will increase. With the interaction with air molecules increases, and it leads to a greater air resistance. So the right answer is C. An aircraft is moving at 60 meters per second in a northerly direction. When a crosswind from the east start to blow, the speed of the wind is 30 meters per second. So aircraft, it is moving in the north direction. The wind is from east direction. So it is in the north direction with a speed of 60 meters per second. And wind from east, it is blowing towards this with a speed of 13 meters per second. What is the magnitude of aircraft velocity when the wind is blowing? So we can draw the resultant force, that is from this tail of one vector to head of another vector, and it is in 90-degree. We can apply Pythagoras theorem for finding the resultant vector. So resultant vector is equal to square root of 60 meter per second the whole square plus 13 meter per second the whole square. Can be written as root of 3779 meter square per second square, while taking square root 61.6 meter per second. So here the right answer is C, 61 meter per second. Next, two rectangular blocks consist of different materials. Four different methods are suggested to compare the two masses. First one, compare the acceleration with which they freely fall. It is not an accurate method because acceleration depends on the may be affected by the air resistance and difference in shape, surface, area of the block. So it is not an accurate method. Second one, compare the values of their length, breadth, and height. That is, it's maybe volume. So it is not an accurate method because the density of the material will vary within the block. Hang each in turn from a spring balance. So hanging the weight in a spring balance and comparing both the four different masses. It's okay. It's a good method. Place one in right hand pan of a beam balance. So we are taking a beam balance. So one in right hand pan, other in left hand pan, then we can compare. This is also a good method. So which method gives a comparison of two masses, that is 3 and 4 only? The right answer is C. An object in a space probe above the Earth weighs 3.5 Newton. The gravitational field strength at the height of the space probe is 7 Newton per kg. The gravitational field strength on the Earth's surface is 9.8 Newton per kg. What are the mass and weight of the object on the Earth's surface? So weight is mg. The mass of a substance is constant. And gravity here, we are having two gravity. On Earth's surface, it is 9.8. And the height of space probe, that is 7 Newton per kg. Mass of the object remains the same regardless of the location and gravitational field. It is a constant quantity. So mass is equal to W by G. So first we will find it, the space probe, mass of the space probe, that is W is given as 3.5 Newton and the gravity is given as 7 Newton per kg. That can be written as 0.5 kilogram. So the mass of the object is 0.5 kg. Next, we'll find the weight of the object on Earth's surface. So weight of the object on Earth's surface can be written as mass into gravity. At Earth's surface, mass is 0.5 kg and gravity is 9.8 Newton per kg. So this kg and kg will get cancelled. 0.5 into 9.8 Newton, that is 4.9 Newton. So B is the right answer. A cyclist is traveling in a straight line along a horizontal road at constant speed. A constant driving force F acts on the cyclist in the forward direction. So this is F and the frictional force will be just opposite of this one. Which statement about the magnitude of the frictional force acting on the cyclist is correct? So as the cyclist is traveling in a constant speed, the resistive, that is your frictional force, will be opposite in direction and equal in magnitude, equal to F. as it is traveling in constant speed. So here the right choice is the magnitude of frictional force will be equal to this driving force F. A is the right choice. A spring has an unstretched length of 3 centimeter. When a force of 60 Newton is applied to the spring, starting it is 3 centimeter, a force of 60 Newton is applied to the string. Its length increases to 5 centimeter. The limit of proportionality is not exceeded. What is the spring constant of the spring? So here we can apply Hooke's law. That is F equals K into X. F is the force applied to the string, K is the spring constant, and X is the displacement. K spring constant, X is the displacement, F is the force applied. So we need to find the spring constant K. K is equal to F by X. Here F is force applied is 60 Newton and the displacement is 3 centimeter to 5 centimeter. That is 5 minus 3, that is 2 centimeter. So 60 Newton divided by 2 centimeter, that will be equal to 60 by 2, that is 30 Newton per centimeter. So the right answer is B. The diagram shows the minimum force F1 acting vertically on a lever required to lift a heavy log of weight W. So this is your weight, this is the force F1. The log needs to be lifted by a smaller force than F1. So we need to reduce the force. It needs to be lifted by a smaller force F2. That should be less than F1. The diagram shows the changes tried. Each diagram has only one change from the original diagram. In each case, F2 is the minimum force required to lift the log. So we'll check first one, P. 3 cases are given, P, Q and R. So in the case of P, the length has been increased. We know the momentum will be is equal to force into perpendicular distance. So as distance increases, we require minimum force. So here F2 will be less than F1. As distance is more means the momentum required it will be minimum. F2 will be minimum. Here we can see F2 is perpendicular. Actually, we need perpendicular distance. When the force applied it is perpendicular to this, we can reduce F2. So in this case also F2 is less than F1. Here we can see increasing the distance from the log to the pivot. So this distance has been increased and this distance has been reduced. So here D has been reduced. So D is reduced means we need more F2. F2 should be increased. So this is not the right choice, P and Q. In these two cases, F2 is being reduced than F1. So P and Q, B is the right choice. A ball of mass 0.25 kg hits a wall at a speed of 16 meter per second. It rebounds back along its original path at a speed of 12 meter per second. What is the impulse experienced by the ball during its impact with the wall. So we need to find the impulse. Impulse is equal to delta P, change in moment, that can be written as m into v minus u. So here v is the final velocity, final speed, u is the initial speed, m is the mass. So here mass is given as 0.25 kg. Final velocity is 12 meter per second. Actually, the ball is hitting on the wall. This direction can be considered as positive. Then it is rebounding back. So this final speed will be negative, minus 12 meter per second. And this will be, initial will be 16 meter per second. So this one into V is minus 12 minus initial is 16 meter per second. So we'll be getting 0.25 into minus 12 minus 16 minus 28 kilogram meter per second. After multiplying, we'll be getting the answer as minus 7 kilogram meter per second or Newton second. So the answer is D, Newton. A bicycle braking system transfers from a kinetic energy store to internal energy store. And a motor converts energy from chemical energy store to kinetic energy store. What enables these energy transfers? So braking system, as the brake pad exerts a frictional force on the wheel, a mechanical work is being done. So in a braking system, when this energy is getting transferred from kinetic to internal store, a mechanical work is being done. And when in the case of motor, when the chemical energy is used to for the electrical work done. Here the right answer is D, braking system. Mechanical work is being done. In motor, inside the coil and all, the electrical work is being done. Research is being carried out to produce electrical energy from the fusion of hydrogen nuclei, which shows two of the problems in the designing a fusion reactor. In case of fusion reaction, hydrogen nuclei need to collide at extremely high velocities. Velocity need to be so high. Temperature needs to be so high. So under these conditions, the hydrogen nuclei will be colliding. So as it is having positive charge, the electrostatic repulsion between them will be more. The hydrogen nuclei is positively charged, so repulsion is more. So we need to overcome this repulsion to fuse them together. So when you are fusing two nucleus, the repulsion will be more and high velocity and high temperature is required to overcome this repulsion and to fuse this hydrogen nuclei. So here the temperature needed will be very high and the nucleus of the hydrogen, it is positively charged and repel each other. So D is the right answer. The engine of a motor vehicle develops large power. Which statement is correct? Power is the rate of work done or work done by time. If the rate of work done is more, the power will be more. That means rate of work done is more means the energy transfer should be more. Energy transferred should be more per second. With respect to time, the energy transfer is more means the power will be more. So here the right answer is C. The engine must transfer large amount of energy in each second. That is the rate of work done must be more to increase the power. The graph shows how the pressure due to a liquid varies with depth beneath the liquid surface. The gravitational field strength is 9.8 Newton per kg. What is the density of the liquid? We need to find the density of the liquid. So by hydrostatic equation, the pressure can be written as rho g h. We need to find rho, that is the density. So rho is equal to pressure by gravity into height. So we can take the pressure from this graph. We can take either 2000 or 4000. So here 2000 means this point we need to take. 4000 means this point we can take. I think it is easy to take 4000. So pressure is 4000 by gravity is given as 9.8, and at this pressure the depth is given. The height is 5.5. Is 0.5. So 4000. 9.8 into 0.5 is 4.9. While dividing, we'll be getting the answer as 816 kilogram per meter cube. So the right answer is B, 820 kg per meter cube. What is the lowest possible temperature? That is absolute zero. And what happens to the energy of the particle at this temperature? So absolute temperature means that is either minus 273 degrees Celsius or 0 Kelvin. So here it is given in degrees Celsius. So it is minus 273. So what will happen to the particle energy? The energy, thermal energy of the particle will be 0 at this temperature. Or we can tell it as the particle will be having least kinetic energy. The right choice is A. Which statement about the particles of substance after condensation is correct? So what is condensation? It is the process by which the substance changes its physical state from gas to liquid. In a liquid, the particles are packed closely together but still have the freedom to move. It can move apart one over the other. So here the right choice is they are close to each other, but still they can slide over each other. That is the property of liquid. So A is the right answer. Two otherwise identical cars, one black in color and one white, are at same initial temperature. The cars are left in a bright sunshine. Their temperature increases. During the night, the temperature decreases. Which car shows greater rate of temperature increase and which car shows greater rate of temperature decrease? So dark color, here it is black. Black is given, white is also given. So they are good at absorption and radiation. Radiation of light and absorption of light will be more in the case of dark colors. And white color, it can act as a good reflector. So here, the rate of temperature increase and the rate of temperature decrease will be more in the case of black. So A is the right answer. A drop of water from a tap falls onto the surface of some water of constant depth. So here we can see the waves, it is getting spread like this. Water waves spread out on the surface of the water. Which statement is correct? So here it is transverse waves. Surface, it is transverse waves. That means the particle will be moving perpendicular with the motion of this water. So here the right choice is C. The waves are transverse and travel at the same speed in all direction. Water waves on the surface of water transverse means the particles on the medium move perpendicular to the direction of wave propagation and it is uniformly spread in all direction. Next, each point F is one focal length from the center of the lens. Each point 2F is two focal length from the center of the lens. Which diagram shows a converging lens being used as magnifying glass? So, when your object is placed between focus and the converging lens, in between we are placing the object, the image will be upright. The image will be upright, magnified and virtual. It will be a virtual image, magnified and upright. So in this case, we can place, this is beyond 2F, this is between 2F and F, this is at 2F. So D, option D, here it is placed between this lens and F. The image is upright, virtual and magnified. So D is the right answer. A monochromatic ray of green light in air enters a block of glass. So, block of glass is there. A monochromatic ray is entering, green light is entering. Which property of the right ray of light always remains the same as it moves from air to glass? So, when there is a medium change, there will be change in speed. The speed of the wave will change. The wavelength of the wave will change. But the frequency will be always remaining constant. Direction also, it will be changing. Frequency remains the constant. So the right answer is C. A narrow beam of white light passes through a prism and is dispersed into a spectrum. White light, it is being dispersed to a spectrum. When the white light is dispersed, it will be split into VIBGYOR. Here red will be in the top, that is Least deviated will be red and the most deviated will be violet. So it will be go in this path, violet, indigo, blue. In this way it will go. So which row is correct? So this is 1. We are having 3 colors, that is red is there, yellow is there, blue is there. So red is least deviated. So 1 is red. Then yellow, blue is there. So yellow is there, blue is there. So next it will be yellow. And the last one will be blue. So the right choice is C. A student writes 4 statements matching a communication system to the region of electromagnetic spectrum that it uses to transmit signals. Which statement is correct? Wireless internet uses visible wavelengths. Actually, wireless internet is using radio waves. Mobile phones uses X-rays. Mobile phones uses radio frequency ray. This is using radio frequency waves. And X-rays we are using in medical field. Cable television uses infrared wavelengths. That is right. Bluetooth uses ultraviolet wave. That is wrong. Bluetooth uses, again, radio waves. A ship sounds its horn when it is 790 meters from a cliff. A passenger on the ship hears an echo 4.8 seconds later. What is the speed of the sound? So, speed of the sound when echo is hearing means we can write the equation as 2 times the distance by time. So, 2 into 790 meter by time is 4.8 seconds. That is equal to 329 meter per second. So, approximately it is 330. B is the right answer. Which row gives metal, the metal used to make the core of an electromagnetic and one property of electromagnet? Here, always iron is preferred. Why? Because for making temporary magnets, iron is preferred due to its responsiveness to magnetization and demagnetization. We can easily demagnetize and magnetize iron. The changeover is easy in the case of iron. And normally steel, it is suited for permanent magnet applications where long-term magnetic retention is required. Steel is used where the magnetic retention is long-term. Is there, we can use steel. So here the right answer is iron, that is used as a temporary magnet for the easy changeover that between magnetization and demagnetization. B is the right choice. A plastic rod and a dry cloth are uncharged. The rod is now rubbed with a cloth. Rod is there. One piece of cloth is there. So initially both are uncharged. The rod becomes negatively charged. So the rod has become negatively charged. And because some charged particles move from cloth to rod. So from here to cloth to rod, some charged particle has been moved. What is the charge on the cloth? Which particles moved in the charging process? So here it is negative, no? So electrons has been moved from cloth to rod. And the remaining, here the charge will be positive. The cloth will remain as positive and the particles moved, that is electrons. So here the right choice is C, positive electrons. A student does an experiment to investigate the resistance of a metal wire. The graph shows the result from the experiment. So what is plotted in x-axis? So resistance can be written as rho into L by A. So as length increases, resistance increases. Area increases, resistance will decrease. Here we can see as the factor x is increasing in x-axis, the resistance is reducing. Resistance get reduced. So the x will be A, area. Area means how we are finding the area? That is pi r square with the help of radius. Radius. So here the parameter radius is not there. Instead diameter is there. So the related parameter diameter is there. So the right answer is A, diameter of the wire. The cost of electrical energy is $0.25 for each unit of 1 kilowatt hour. A 22,000 watt heater is switched on for 48 minutes. What is the cost of this use? So energy consumption it is given. That is the power into time. We know power can be written as work done by time. So work done, that is the energy consumption, is equal to power into time. The power it is here 2200 watt and it is for 48 minutes. So we need to convert to hour, that is 48 by 60. So we'll be getting the answer as 1760 watt hour. We can convert to kilowatt. That means 3 points, 1.76 kilowatt hour. So the energy consumption we have got, we know what is the cost for 1 kilowatt hour. So the total cost will be equal to energy consumption 1.76 kilowatt hour into what is the cost for 1 kilowatt hour, that is 0.25. Multiplying, you'll be getting the answer 0.44. So A is the right answer. The table describes 4 different resistance wires. They are all made from the same metal. Which wire has the smallest resistance? So the equation for resistance, that is rho L by A. So which wire has the smallest resistance? So for reducing the resistance value, L should be less and A should be more. A means area, that is here we are telling the factor diameter. So diameter should be more. So in this case, A and B length is less and diameter should be more. So out of this 1.5, here the diameter is more. So the right choice is B. Length should be less and diameter is more. The circuit shown contains 3 switches and 4 lamps, P, Q, R and S. Which switches must be closed to light only P and R? So we can see here, when you are closing switch 1, this circuit get closed, the lamp P and automatically lamp R also will glow. There is no other switch for R. So just closing switch 1, we can glow lamp P and lamp R. So the right answer is A, switch 1 only. The diagram shows the magnetic field around a solenoid carrying an electric current. So this is the magnetic field. What happens to the strength of the magnetic field and the distance between the field lines when the current is increased? So here as the current increases, automatically the strength of magnetic field also will increase. And the magnetic lines of force will be closer together. That means the distance between the magnetic lines of force get decreased. This factor will decrease and this factor will increase. Strength will increase as current increases. Distance between the field line will decrease as current increases. C is the right answer. The diagram shows a wire hanging freely between the poles of a magnet. There is a current in the wire in the direction. So the direction of current is downwards. The magnet and the current cause a force to act on the wire. In which direction does this force act? So we can see here the current is in this direction. The field is in this direction. And the force will be away from you. That is into the page. The right choice is A. Which components form the part of a DC motor but not a moving coil AC generator? This is a DC motor. This is an AC generator. So here we can see brushes, coils, magnet, everything is there. But in the case of DC motor, split rings are there, split ring commutator. And in the case of AC, it is slip ring. Slip ring commutators are there. So the difference here it is coil, brushes, magnet, everything is common for both. The split ring commutator is the difference. A transformer has 5,500 turns on the primary and 500 turns on the secondary. The output in the secondary coil is 110 volt. That is voltage secondary is 110. Turns of ratio in the primary is 5,500. Turns of ratio in the secondary is 500. The transformer is 100% efficient. The heater produces a power of 132 watt. That is power in the secondary is 132. As it is 100% efficient, power in secondary and primary will be same. We need to find the current in the primary coil. So first we will find the current in the secondary. Power can be written as voltage into current. So we know the power in the secondary, that is PS equals VS into IS. We need to find the current in the secondary. IS can be written as PS divided by VS. PS is 132 watt divided by voltage in secondary is 110 volt. We will be getting the answer 1.2 amps. Next, we will find the current in the primary. So, current in primary can be written as current in secondary divided by turns ratio. So, here what is the turns ratio? Turns ratio is NS by NP. That is 5,500 by 500. This will be equal to 11. This is your turns ratio. So we can substitute this. Current in secondary is 1.2 amps. Turns ratio is 11. So the answer is 0.109 amps. Rounding to significant figures, it is 0.11 amps. The right answer is A. The scattering of alpha particles from a thin gold foil produces the following observation. Most of the alpha particle pass through the foil. That means most of the space with the gold foil it is empty. Most of the alpha particles are virtually undeflected. There is no charge. A small fraction of alpha particles are deflected through large angle. So some charges will be there. A small fraction of alpha particles bounce back from the foil. This is actually Rutherford experiment. Actually, this experiment supports the idea that in an atom, there is a concentrated nucleus, which consists of positive charge. This provides the crucial evidence for the existence of nucleus and positive charge, and it directly doesn't reveal the presence of protons and neutrons in the nucleus. It was the initial experiment done by Rutherford. So presence of nucleus is done and the positive charge also it was identified. Which conclusion does not follow these observations? So it doesn't conclude that the nucleus consists of protons and neutrons. A nuclide of chlorine has the symbol as shown. That is 3517 chlorine. This 35 is the mass number and this 17 is the atomic number. Which is the nuclear number of this nuclide of chlorine. So mass number is the nuclear number, that is C35. What change is occurring in a nucleus during beta emission? So during beta emission, a proton, a beta negative and an anti-neutron is emitted. The proton is there, beta negative that is electron is there, this anti-neutrino that is a massless particle. So here the right answer is C. A neutron becomes one proton and one electron. The graph shows how the count rate registered by a counter near to a sample of radioactive isotopes changes over few days. The background count rate is 5. What is the half-life of the isotope? So we need to find the half-life. For finding half-life, we will find what is the initial count. The initial count, it is shown here, it is 45. That is shown in the detector. The net count we need to find by subtracting this 45 minus that background count rate is 5. 45 minus 5, that is 40. So after one half-life, the count will be 20. And the count shown in the detector, that will be 20 plus 5, that is 25. So we need to find the half-life. What is the time period? So we will see 25. This is the 25 mark. So this is the point. At that point, what is the time? That is 2 days. A is the right answer. Which row about the orbit of Earth and the Moon is correct? The approximate time for the Earth to orbit the Sun, that is 365 days. Approximate time for the Moon to orbit the Earth, that is 28 days. Here the right choice is D, 365 days and 30 days. Which statement about the orbits of comets is correct? For taking Sun, the orbits will be elliptical in shape and the Sun will be at one of the posae. So comets have elliptical orbits and Sun is not at the center of the orbit. B is the right choice. Which row describes power source for a stable star? Stable star, sun is our stable star. In that actually fusion is happening and an hydrogen nuclei combine to form helium at high temperature. So here the right answer is fusion and the fuel is hydrogen. Which quantity can be determined using the brightness of a supernova in a distant galaxy? So by comparing the apparent brightness of supernova in a distant galaxy to its non-intrinsic brightness, apparent brightness and the non-brightness, we can estimate the distance of the galaxy. Distance to the galaxy. So with the help of that, the distance of the galaxy from the Earth can be found out. Thank you. We will see in the next video.